Hello friends, we will start medieval history recap video without any further delay. Okay, so we will not go in too much detail, but this will help you boost your marks. Okay, so let's start. So first we will start from foreign invasion. A lot of invasion happened from the place of Arab, Turkey, Mongol. From these three places, a series of invasion happened. It started from the invasion of Arab military commander named as Muhammad bin Qasim on the place called as Sindh, which is now in Pakistan, but was a very important place for the nation. Okay, and it happened around 712. Then Ghazni had a series of invasion. He invaded almost 17 times the temple of Somnath and Mathura. If it is being written that what was the main reason of these invasions or what was the purpose of invasion, it was both. One was Islamic conquest, religious purpose, and second was wealth. Okay. So the right wing historian will stress you more on the Islamic conquest, and left wing will just ridicule it to wealth, because Marx saw everything just from economic angle, but religion does play a big role even now. Okay. So now every invasion that happened to this modern day Pakistan, okay, because this is the part of the pathway, and that's why British made Pakistan also, because it's very strategically located to connect to Central Asia or to connect to Arab. So and has a very good presence in Arabian Ocean also, the Gwadar port. Okay, so they wanted to control this strategic area because there was a pattern of competition between USSR and British, and that's why they created now this Kalat region. Uh, they wanted to control it. So in Baluchistan, there is a portion called as Kalat, so that they wanted to control just because of the pattern of competition between the USSR and British, and they never wanted that this place should come to India, and that's why all this divide and rule policy etc. also started to disintegrate the unity between the Hindus and Muslims, and they portrayed a one leader which is known as Muhammad Ali Jinnah. उनको पूरा पीछे से सपोर्ट किया. If British wanted to demolish any kind of leader, if they were threatening their empire, they can do in seconds, no matter how much popular that leader was. But he was playing that role which Britishers wanted, so the Britishers were also happy. Then came Ghori is popular. Ghori came na in 1175. Ghori is popular because of two battles, 1191 and 1192. Battle of Terrain. Two battles happened, and in first battle Prithviraj Chauhan won, and in second battle he lost. If he would have killed in the first battle itself, Ghori, this wouldn't have happened. But India had a legacy of having a very high moral compass. But these invaders had no moral compass. They were just brutally killing, lying, and doing all sorts of fraud techniques, and they were doing all sorts of cunningness. And here peoples were there who Rajputs who had very high moral compass. That's why we suffered a lot until a ruler came, Chhatrapati Shivaji, having a very sharp mind and having that mental aptitude. So if you have to kill a snake, you will have to use the force, and that's what is happening in the present day time as well. Okay, and then was the Timur. Timur Urkani. He was a Turco-Mongol conqueror, having lineage from both Turkish and Mongol. Yeah, the first ruler of Timur dynasty and the great military leader belonged to the family of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan again was a like a very brutal kind of a leader. He killed a lakhs of people. He annexed northern India in 1398, attacking the Delhi Sultanate led by Sultan Nasiruddin Muhammad Shah Tughlaq of Tughlaq dynasty. And Delhi was the Timur's biggest victory. Timur's legacy is vast. He's like Central Asia he conquered, other places as Baghdad, Damascus, Delhi, and other Arab regions, Georgian, Persian, and Indian cities. He went on to have conquest on all these cities. Then Babur. Babur was also an invader. He came to India, and mind you, one of the Indian ruler only invited him. Then his fifth invasion is Battle of Panipat, marked a change in the political history of India. Okay, and then the establishment of Mughal Empire happened. Nadir Shah was the last among all the invaders. Yeah, no, I think one of the name is getting missed. You can call Ahmad Shah Abdali as well as invader. He's kind of invader only. Okay. But Nadir Shah was a complete invader. He just came, plundered, and went in 1739. He plundered a lots of wealth from Delhi. Lots of wealth. Now let's see some of the rulers. You all read this Mughal, Delhi Sultanate, but Indian medieval history not just Mughal and Delhi Sultanate. In their heydays, they were having rule over approximately 50-55% of Indian region. But in their worst day, they were ruling from Delhi to Palam. Uh, their worst kingdom era was like this. So the history of India is very, very vast, even in medieval India. Mind you, don't think that when these rulers were there, they were ruling to the all of the country. No, this is not the thing. That's why UPSC will ask you a lot of questions from other kingdoms. So Chauhans of Ajmer, you know the name of Prithviraj Chauhan. They ruled na southeastern Rajasthan. They followed Shakumbri cult. Capital city was Ajmer, and Vishal Deva was the founder of this dynasty. And Vishal Dev's nephew was Prithviraj Chauhan or Rai Pithoda. If you will go to Delhi, na, there is Kila Rai Pithoda, South Delhi. That's its fort. Was the most famous ruler of the dynasty. Prithviraj married Shamyukta, daughter of Jaychandra, arch rival of Prithviraj Chauhan. ठीक है, इसी ने सारा काम किया था जयचंद्र ने. जयचंद्र ही इनवाइटेड मोहम्मद गौरी टू इन्वेड इंडिया और टू डिफीट पृथ्वीराज. Always this is the story in India. So I told you about the battle of Tarin. In 1193 Jaychandra was killed by Gori. जिसने बुलाया था उसको भी मार दिया. That's the I told you na, there is no moral compass. The worst period in the history of world is medieval period. Everywhere the rulers who were rising were of this nature only. They had no moral compass absolutely. And this the military conquest of Prithviraj have been described in the Prithviraj Raso, written by Chand Bardai. Very very important. और ये राजपूत ग्लोरी को बहुत डेंट हो गया जैसे ही पृथ्वीराज चौहान जो का सेट हुआ उसके बाद देयर वर रूलर्स इन राजस्थान लाइक महाराणा प्रताप एक्सेट्रा राणा सांगा वेरी brave leaders, but this was crucial part of the history. Then Kakatiyas from 12th to 14th century, they were so this Kakatiya dynasty ruled in the present day Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So let's see the political history quickly. The Kakatiya dynasty was a South Indian dynasty that ruled most of the Eastern Deccan region. We saw the map. Their capital was Orugalu, now known as Warangal. Early Kakatiya rule served as a feudatories to Rashtrakutas and Western Chalukyas. They were fiduciary to both of these. They assumed sovereignty under Pratap Parudra I. Pratap Parudra I. Okay. Ganapati Deva significantly expanded Kakatiya's land during the 1230s and brought under Kakatiya control the Telugu-speaking lowland delta areas in the Godavari and Krishna region. Okay, and then Ganapati Deva was succeeded by Rudrama Devi. Very very important. Marco Polo, who visited India sometime around 1289 to 1293, made note of Rudrama Devi's rule. This is very very important. Alauddin Khalji invaded Kakatiya kingdom in 1303. This brought hard time for Kakatiyas. Finally, in 1323, Prince Zauna Khan Muhammad bin Tughlaq, जिनको हम जानते हैं, defeated Pratapurudra Deva and annexed their kingdom. Prince Zauna changed the name of Kakatiya capital Oragalu as Sultanpur. Pratap Deva committed suicide near Narmada river while coming to Delhi as a captive of Prince Zauna. There were so many literature which were written in Sanskrit and Telugu during his period. And Zayapa Senani has composed Gita Ratnavali, Nritya Ratnavali, and Vadya Ratnavali. Andhra Natyam was classical dance form of this period. There was also Pershish Parinivantavadam. Sorry for my pronunciation. This is a very difficult name. Okay, and this is not very important, but you need to remember that the iconic Kakatiya Thoranam was built by Rudrama Devi's father in 12th century. This ornate arch is said to have many similarities with the gateway of Sanchi Stoop. And the Kohinoor diamond, which is now among the jewels set in the British crown, was mined and first owned by the Kakatiya dynasty. Also, the Ramappa temple is best specimen of Kakatiya temples. These are very, very important. Now let's see the kingdom of Gujarat. Gujarat was now also one of the richest place, then also the one of the richest provinces of Delhi Sultanate. During Firoz Shah Tughlaq reign, Zafar Khan was the governor of Gujarat. After Taimur's invasion, Gujarat and Malwa became de facto independent sultans. There were a dynasty known as Muzaffarid dynasty. Muzaffarid dynasty in 1407, Zafar Khan formally proclaimed the independent Gujarat Sultanate. The important ruler is Ahmad Shah I. He was the grandson of Zafar Khan. He shifted the capital from Patan to the new city of Ahmedabad. Its foundation was laid in 1413. That's why he is popular. He imposed jizya tax, a kind of poll tax on Hindus for the first time in Gujarat. Then Mahmud Begarha. He was most famous ruler of Gujarat, as the kingdom emerged as one of the most powerful states in the country. He was called as Begraha because he captured two important forts, Gars, Girnar in Saurashtra, now it is Junagadh, and Champaner in South Gujarat. He renamed Junagadh uh, as Mustafabad. And then the series of conquests that he has done. That's not very, very important. Battle of Diu was fought by Mahmud's Gujarat Navy led by Admiral Malik Ayaz, Mamulk, Egypt, Zamorin of Calicut, Ottoman Navy, Venice, Ragusa, Croatia against the Portuguese Navy. The Portuguese won decisively. That's the virtually the dominance of this empire ended. Then there is a regional kingdom of Malwa. Okay, Dilawar Khan is an important ruler. Then there is Hausang Shah. The Jahaj Mahal and Mandu Fort are the example of the architecture that developed during his period. Okay. Then there is a Mahmud Khalji. He fought with almost all his neighbor, whether it is Bahmani, whether it is ruler of Gujarat, or Gondwana, or Odisha. He fought with Rana Kumbha of Mewar as well. And so a series of conquests is being done under him. Again, the last Sultan of Malwa was the Abbas Bahadur. Then there is a regional kingdom of Mewar. With the conquest of Ranthambore by Alauddin Khalji, the power of Chauhans in Rajputana came to an end in 14th century. In 1335 C, Rana Hamira established the second Guhila dynasty of Chittor. ठीक है, यहाँ से सिसोदिया clan बढ़ा था. He was the first ruler who started the use of title Rana and built the Annapurna Mata temple in Chittorgarh fort in Rajasthan. ठीक है, Rana Kumbha, very very important ruler. Rana Kumbha made the kingdom of Mewar very powerful after consolidating his position with great diplomacy and defeating his internal rivals. Kumbha conquered states like Bundi, Kota, Dungarpur, etc. Rana Kumbha gave shelter to court rival of Mahmud Khalji of Malwa and even attempted to install him on the Malwa throne. In retaliation, Mahmud Khalji gave shelter to and sponsored some court rivals of Rana Kumbha. दोनों में लड़ाई चल रही थी. In 1448, Rana Kumbha constructed the Vijay Stamp at Chittorgarh, very very popular place, to commemorate his victory over the combined armies of Malwa and Gujarat led by Mahmud Khalji. He was murdered by his own son, Uday, to gain the throne. He was, however, ousted by Maharana Raimal, the younger son of Rana Kumbha. Later, after another unfortunate long conflict with his brother, Rana Sanga, son of Raimal, became the ruler of Mewar. Rana Sanga is very, very popular because of his bravery. He was the grandson of Rana Kumbha. Mahmud II, the king of Malwa, sought assistance from Bahadur Shah of Gujarat as well as Sultan Ibrahim Lodi of Delhi because he was concerned about the influence of his rival Rajput Wazir Medini Rai. Medini Rai received assistance from Rana Sanga. Malwa's army was defeated, along with the supporting force from Delhi, by Sanga's army and Rajput rebels from within Malwa. That was his might. Malwa thus came under Rana's control militarily. However, even after defeating and imprisoning Mahmud too, Rana Sanga treated him well and restored his realm. Such was the moral compass. Then happened in 1518 Battle of Khatoli. Rana Sanga defeated Ibrahim Lodi when he invaded Mewar. That's an important battle. 1527 Rana fought against Babar in the famous Battle of Khanwa near Fatehpur Sikri. In 1528 he again fought Babar at the Battle of Chanderi to help Medini Rai, who was attacked by Babar. But he fell sick and died at the camp. And then, unfortunately, the brave Rana Sanga's fierce battle ended. Hence, this regional kingdom ruled during the medieval time and eventually culminated in blending into a Mughal rule that followed Babar's arrival. Then there was a regional kingdom of Odisha, which is known as Gahapati. लिखा गजापति जाता, but Gahapati बोलते हैं rulers. Okay, ruled over Kalinga, Odisha, large parts of Andhra and West Bengal, and some parts of central parts of Madhya Pradesh and Jharkhand as well. Kapilendra Deva founded the Gahapati dynasty in 1453 after the decline of Eastern Ganga dynasty. Okay. Then the Vijayanagara Empire. So Vijayanagara Empire was established by two people, Harihar and Bukka. They broke away from the Delhi Sultanate and established the capital city Vijayanagara on the banks of river Tungabhadra in 1336. बहुत सारे सोर्स हैं जैसे कि रवया चकमबाई, विश्वनाथ स्थानापति, द फॉरगटन हिस्ट्री, और बहुत सारे कन्नड़ा एंड तेलुगु लिटरेचर में जैसे मनुचरित्र में भी ऑल्सो देर इज lots of things written about Vijayanagara Empire. Foreign accounts also, like Niccolo di Conti visited Vijayanagara during time of Devaraya I and gave details about his personality. Abdul Razak from Persia visited during Devaraya II. He described the beauty of capital city Hampi. Then Domingo Paez and Barbosa also visited during Krishnadevaraya time, and Fernando Nunes visited during the time of Achyut Devaraya. There is inscription also like a Bitragunta inscription is the major source for construction of family history of Sangama dynasty. Then Srirangam copper plates of Devaraya II provided the genealogy and achievements of Vijayanagara rulers. Various copper plates inscriptions of Krishnadevaraya time are also found. The Hampi ruins and other monuments of Vijayanagara provide information on cultural contribution of Vijayanagara rulers. Political history देखें तो इसमें विदिनी डायनेस्टीज थी जैसे संगमा, सलुवा, तुलुवा, अराविदु. Okay, संगमा डायनेस्टी वाज established by हरिहर and बुक्का. ठीक है, यही फाउंडेशनल था. He captured Goa, which was then named as Revati Dweep. Devraya I was the first important king. He was the first to construct a dam across river Tungabhadra. Devraya I was defeated by Bahman Sultan Firoz Shah I. The greatest ruler of the Sangam dynasty was Devraya II. He inducted Muslim archers into army. Muslim के जो archer थे उनको army में ले लिया था. Okay. Suluva dynasty में ना Annamacharya lived during this time period. Narasimha Raya II was the greatest dynasty ruler. और एक conflict चलता रहता था विजयनगर और बहमनीज के बीच में. Okay, over the control of Raichur Doab, which was the land between Krishna and Tungabhadra. The famous diamond mines of Golconda were located in the eastern part of the Doab region, and the geography of both the kingdom was such that expansion was possible only across Tungabhadra and the Deccan. इस वजह से competition था. तुलुवा डायनेस्टी से बिलोंग करते थे कृष्णदेव राया, द ग्रेटेस्ट रूलर इन द एंटायर डायनेस्टी एंड वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट रूलर ऑफ मेडिएवल टाइम पीरियड. ग्रेट कमांडर, एफिशिएंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर, ग्रेट स्कॉलर, ग्रेट पैट्रन ऑफ आर्ट, है ना. He completely shattered the Adil Shah force of Bijapur first and attacked Gulbarga as well and set 3 Bahmani princes who were imprisoned there. तो बहुत ही able थे. He helped them in recovering the throne of Gulbarga, and Krishnadeva himself took the title of Yavanarajya Sthapanacharya. Okay. Udaygiri was the first fort to be captured by Krishnadeva. He defeated Pratap Rudra Gajapati of Odisha as well. He married Gajapati or Gahapati princess Tukka Devi or Annapurna Devi. Raichur campaign in 1520 was his last campaign. He defeated Ismail Adil Shah. Portuguese governor Alfonso de Albuquerque concluded treaty with Krishna Dev Raya. Okay. He was a great patron of literature and art. He was known as Andhra Bhoja. 8 eminent scholars known as Ashtadigajas were at his royal court. Due to the death of his son, Krishnadev Raya received nervous breakdown and passed away. ठीक है, उसके बाद तो एम्पायर लगभग गिर ही गया. अरावधो डायनेस्टी में वेंकटा टू वाज कंटेम्पररी टू अकबर. ही शिफ्टेड कैपिटल सिटी. Okay, administration was a traditional kind of monarchy system. The king was assisted by council of minister, and one of the important characteristic of Vijayanagara administration was ना हमारा नायका सिस्टम और नायका सिस्टम. वो नायका बाद में निकल के नायका ने खुद भी रूलर्स बन गए थे. और वन ऑफ द नायकाज ओनली कंस्ट्रक्टेड टेम्पल मीनाक्षी देवी एज वेल. He collected taxes in his area with the income maintained. With that income, he maintained his army, horses, elephants, etc. The Amara Naika sent tribute to the king annually and personally appeared in the royal court with gifts to express their royalty. Loyalty साबित करने के लिए. लैंड रेवेन्यू मेजर सोर्स था. 1/6 ऑफ टोटल प्रोड्यूस. पीपल का लाइफ बहुत अच्छा था. लग्जरियस लाइफ था. सिल्क एंड कॉटन क्लोथ्स पहने जाते थे. अमीरी थी. Prostitution was institutionalized. Devdasi or temple dancers system became popular. Practice of sati further strengthened. Existence of 4 castes was there: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Sudras. And they were chiefly Saivites, and Virupaksha was their family deity, but other dynasties were Vaishnavites. Sangam ruler जो थे वो Saivite थे. ठीक है. बाकी और विरूपाक्षा उनके मेन सेंट्रल डीटी थे. बट जो बाकी डायनेस्टी विजयनगरा में थी उन वो वैष्णवाइट थी. बट संगम्स जो थे वो चीफली, ये नहीं है कि दे वर नॉट वर्शिपिंग विष्णु जी. Muslims were also employed in the administration. And Sunya Sampadaniya, collection of vachanas produced in this age. Vachanas were na kind of a sayings in Kannada. इसमें नहीं बोलते दोहास वैसे ही in Hindi. There are lots of literature written during this time period. But what is important is Krishnadev Raya wrote Amukta Malyada. That's very, very important. And Allasani Pedana wrote Manucharita. These two are very important. You should remember it. Maratha Empire. So you all know the name of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and so there was he was born at Sivaneri Fort. Father Shahji Bhosle initially served Nizam ruler of Ahmednagar. Later he joined the Bijapur, and he inherited the Jagir of Pune from his father in 1637. He captured Javali from Chandra Rao More in 1656 at the Battle of Pratapgarh. He killed Afzal Khan, Adil Shah's general. Then there was a battle of Pawani Khand. Smaller Maratha force led by Baji Prabhu Deshpande held back the larger enemy to buy time for Shivaji to escape. Shivaji was defeated by Shaista Khan, sent by Aurangzeb. Later, he made a bold attack on Shaista Khan's military camp at Pune in 1663 and wounded him. Such was his might. Then there was a treaty of Purandar signed between Raja Jai Singh under Aurangzeb and Shivaji. Chhatrapati Shivaji ceded some forts to Mughal and visited Agra to meet Aurangzeb. He defeated Mughals in Battle of Salher 1672. He was crowned and assumed the title Maharaja Chhatrapati in 1674 at Raigad Fort. And he died in 1680 at the age of 52. But his legacy is very, very strong. To give a fatal reply and to also use guerrilla warfare technique. And he was such a mighty ruler, that even Aurangzeb used to respect him a lot, as well as his cultural influence is huge even till now, and his legacy is never ending. Okay. He was very tolerant as well. It's not that he was not appointing Muslims. Muslims were also part of his empire, and they were also working under him. He was very tolerant. He divided the territory into 3 provinces. Provinces were divided into prants, which were subdivided into parganas or tarafs. He was a very able administrator as well. Shivaji had well-organized army and navy. The regular army was called as Paga, while the loose auxiliaries called Silhadars and was supervised by havildars. सैलरी इन कैश वाज पेड टू द रेगुलर सोल्जर, तो समटाइम्स कुछ ग्रांट मतलब ऐसे चला जाता, रेवेन्यू ग्रांट बोलते हैं ना, सरंजाम, उसमें दिया जाता था. ही वाज असिस्टेड बाय काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स कॉल्ड एज अष्टप्रधान मंडल. ईच मिनिस्टर वाज डायरेक्टली रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज. ये अष्टप्रधान है. पेशवा यूज टू सी फाइनेंशियल एंड जनरल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. सेनापति मिलिट्री कमांडर. मजूमदार अकाउंटेंट जनरल. वकिया नवीस इंटेलिजेंस पोस्ट एंड हाउस होल्ड अफेयर्स. सचिव करस्पॉन्डेंस. दाबीर फॉरेन मिनिस्टर एंड मास्टर ऑफ सेरेमनीज. न्यायाधीश जस्टिस. Pandit Rao, high priest managing internal religious matter. The revenue system Shivaji was based on that of Malik Amber of Ahmednagar. Land was measured using measuring rod called as kathi. Discouraged revenue farming. Chot, 1/4 of land revenue paid to Marathas to avoid Marathas raid. Sardesh Mukhi was additional levy of 10%, that is 1/10 of standard land revenue on those lands on which the Marathas claimed hereditary rights. Reduced the power of existing Deshmukhs and Kulkarnis and appointed own revenue officer called as Karkons. और उसके बाद ये संभाजी का राइन आता है. Not that important. छत्रपति शिवाजी part is very very important. Okay, these are not very important. कश्मीर में आप देख सकते हो कि the history starts from Lohara dynasty ruled by Queen Didda. His name is written in golden words in the history of Kashmir. After her, 2 other queens ruled over Kashmir, Yashovati and Sugandha. Many temples and monasteries were built. Often it is also said that Vedas were written in the Kashmir itself, and the Kashmir name comes from the name of Kashyap sage. It's a very very important place in Indian civilization. After Queen Didda's death, King Sangramaraj took over the crown. Port of Lohara is there. Then Jaisimha became the ruler, took over the charge after King Harsha, not the Harsha of Kannauj, other Harsha, okay. And then there were the Muslim rulers also came one by one. Then Ahom kingdom in the present day Assam. Society was divided into clans, which was called as khels. Ahom king was the supreme commander, and they maintained pikes. Pikes were the main army of the state. ये याद रखना आपको. And they were expert in guerrilla warfare. Important चीजें ही बताएंगे आपको इस जंक्चर में. महाराजा सुहेल देव is very important, and he was the erstwhile ruler of Shravasti in Uttar Pradesh, Bahraich district. He is known to have defeated and killed Ghazi Salar Masood in Battle of Bahraich. Ghazi Salar Masood was the nephew of Mahmud of Ghazni. इस कारण से बहुत फेमस है. He was also mentioned in 17th century historical romance Mirate Masudi. It was written by Abdur Rahman Chishti in Persian language. The book was written during the reign of Mughal Emperor Jahangir. Yeah. Or Chittoda Lake is located in Uttar Pradesh. The lake is also known as Ashtavarka Jheel. ये फेमस है इनके कारण. अब आ जाओ गुलाम वंश, स्लेव डायनेस्टी जिसे बोलते हैं, फटाफट देख लो. कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक थे फर्स्ट रूलर. 4 साल में ही रूल्ड, एंड देन घोड़े पे पोलो टाइप खेलते हुए ही डाइड. आराम शाह, देन शमसुद्दीन इल्तुतमिश स्टार्टेड ना इलबारी डायनेस्टी. ओके, एंड इक्तादारी सिस्टम भी इसी के टाइम पे आया. रजिया सुल्ताना, ओनली women ruler of Delhi Sultanate, daughter of Iltutmish. Then Bahram came, then Alauddin Masood, ये सब कोई important ruler नहीं है. गयासुद्दीन बलबन is okay. कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक के बारे में इतनी सारी चीजें जानने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. इल्तुतमिश के बारे में जो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट आई विल टेल यू. ये फालतू राम कहानी है अभी के टाइम में, इट्स नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. इल्तुतमिश ऑर्गेनाइज तुर्कान ने चहलगनी, अ न्यू क्लास ऑफ द रूलिंग एलीट ऑफ 40 पावरफुल मिलिट्री लीडर्स, द 40, जिसको बलबन तोड़ देता है. He patronized many scholars and number of Sufi saints came to India during his reign, like Minhaj Siraj, Muhammad Junaidi, Fakhrul Mulk Islami. Okay, ये सारे को इसने पैट्रोनाइज किया. रजिया सुल्तान was the first and only women ruler of medieval India, जो मैंने बोला. ठीक है. इनको मार दिया जाता है, कुछ खास ये कर नहीं पाती हैं। उसके बाद बलबन है। बलबन ने, अकॉर्डिंग टू बलबन, तो सुल्तान गॉड्स के शैडो थे। ठीक है। बलबन इनहेंस द पावर ऑफ द मोनार्ची, मोनार्क का ही पावर बढ़ा दिया, और इसने शुरू किया था ना द कस्टम ऑफ सजदा एंड पेबोश। पेबोश का मतलब होता है किसिंग द सुल्तान फीट। एंड चहलगनी की पावर को इसने ब्रेक कर दिया था। इसके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है। सेपरेट मिलिट्री डिपार्टमेंट बनाया था दीवान ए अर्ज एंड रीऑर्गेनाइज द आर्मी, डिप्लॉयड द आर्मी डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ हिज कंट्री। जो इंपॉर्टेंट है वही पढ़ेंगे, टाइम नहीं है इसे पढ़ने का। खिलजी डायनेस्टी, जलाउद्दीन खिलजी ने बनाया। अलाउद्दीन खिलजी इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, यही पढ़ना है आपको। जलाउद्दीन खिलजी से कोई मतलब नहीं है। अलाउद्दीन खिलजी ने जो काम किया वो हम बता देते हैं आपको। दैट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। जैसे कि द पब्लिक सेल ऑफ लिकर एंड ड्रग्स वाज टोटली बैंड, द इंटेलिजेंस सिस्टम वाज रीऑर्गेनाइज्ड, and all the secret activities of the nobles were immediately reported to the sultan. He confiscated the property of the nobles. Social gatherings and festivities without the permission of sultan were not allowed. मिलिट्री कैंपेन्स तो हमने बताया, कन्क्वेस्ट ऑफ गुजरात किया, कन्क्वेस्ट ऑफ राजपुताना किया, रणथंबोर पे कन्क्वेस्ट किया था, चित्तौड़ पे किया था, है ना। अ, जो रतन सिंह आपने देखी भी होगी वो मूवी। अलाउद्दीन अटैक चित्तौड़ बिकॉज ही coveted पद्मिनी द ब्यूटीफुल क्वीन ऑफ राजा रतन सिंह। राजा रतन सिंह and his army fought bravely but were defeated. The Rajput women including रानी पद्मिनी performed जौहर। फिर मालवा पे भी किया एंड डेक्कन फार साउथ। ओके। He went on to, he wanted to rule this Deccan part as well. So Kakatiyas of Warangal, Hoysala, ये सब रूल हो रहा था वहाँ पे। He was defeated and a huge booty was seized and sent to Delhi. Kafur then marched against the Pandyas। एक ना मलिक कफूर था। मालिक कफूर ने क्या किया, लॉन्च हिज कैंपेन अगेंस्ट वारंगल, तो वारंगल को इसने हराया। तो बहुत सारा पैसा लूट के ये दिल्ली ले गया। ठीक है। फिर पांड्यास के खिलाफ लड़ने गया। वीरा पांड्या फ्लीड द कैपिटल मदुरई एंड, जो ये था मलिक काफूर, सीज्ड इनॉर्मस वेल्थ फ्रॉम द पांड्यन किंगडम। अकॉर्डिंग टू अमीर खुसरो, मलिक काफूर रीच्ड एज फार एज रामेश्वरम, built a mosque there and returned to Delhi with huge wealth. Alauddin honored Malik Kafur by appointing him Nayab Malik of the empire. Alauddin Khalji died in 1316. Although the Sultan was illiterate, he patronized poets like Amir Hassan and Amir Khusro. Alauddin assumed the title of Sikandar Azam and gave the title of Tutue Hindu Amir Khusro. और इसका मतलब एक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन था जिसमें कुछ मिलिट्री रिफॉर्म्स भी किए थे। अलाउद्दीन खिलजी मेंटेन्ड अ लार्ज परमानेंट स्टैंडिंग आर्मी एंड पेड देम इन कैश। ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड द सिस्टम ऑफ दाग, ब्रांडिंग ऑफ हॉर्सेस एंड प्रिपेयर्ड हुलिया, डिस्क्रिप्टिव लिस्ट ऑफ सोल्जर्स। मार्केट रिफॉर्म्स लाए थे। अलाउद्दीन एस्टेब्लिश्ड 4 सेपरेट मार्केट्स इन दिल्ली, वन फॉर ग्रेन मंडी, अनदर फॉर क्लॉथ, शुगर, ड्राई फ्रूट्स, ऑयल एंड बटर, एंड ही वाज ट्राइंग टू control the inflation as well. Each market was under the control of high officer called as Shahnai Mandi. And separate department under called Diwan Riyasat was created under an officer called Naib Riyasat. ठीक है। ऐसे कमोडिटी के नहीं बढ़े, इसके लिए काफ़ी ज़्यादा कोशिश थी। लैंड रेवेन्यू कैश में कलेक्ट करने की कोशिश होती थी। तुगलक अगर देखोगे तो तुगलक में गयासुद्दीन तुगलक है, बट हमें पढ़ना मोहम्मदीन तुगलक के बारे में। एसेंट्रिक रूलर एंड थोड़ा फिरोज शाह तुगलक ने काम किया था। सो दीज टू आर इंपॉर्टेंट, रेस्ट आर नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट। ट्रांसफर ऑफ कैपिटल, he wanted to shift his capital from Delhi to Devgiri so that he might be able to control South India better. क्योंकि वो हो नहीं पा रहा था, कंक्वेस्ट कितना भी करो, साउथ ऑफ इंडिया वाज नॉट, दे वर नॉट एबल टू कंट्रोल इट फुली, हो नहीं पा रहा था वो। टोकन करेंसी की थी, ये भी डिजास्टर हो गई। टैक्सेशन इन दो आप, द फेलियर ऑफ द अबाउट टू एक्सपेरिमेंट्स रिजल्ट इन ह्यूज लॉस ऑफ मनी, बहुत ज़्यादा फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन खराब हो गई थी। सेवियर फेमाइन भी स्ट्रक हो गया था। एग्रीकल्चर रिफॉर्म, he launched a scheme by which Takkavi loans for cultivation were given to the farmer to buy seeds and to extend cultivation. He set up a separate department for agriculture known as Diwan-e-Amir O. A model farm under the state was created in area of 64 square miles. रिलीजियस मैटर में थोड़ा टॉलरेट था, पढ़ाई लिखाई की कोशिश करते थे। एंड इसी के टाइम पे इबन बतूता आया था। सो एसेंट्रिक ना कि जाने ही नहीं दे रहे थे इबन बतूता को, काजी बना दिया किसी तरीके से बेचारा गया यहाँ से जान छुटा के। Okay. Firoz Shah Tughlaq. He appointed Khan e Jahan Maqbal, a Telugu Brahmin, convert as Wazir, Prime Minister. मिलिट्री कैंपेन्स तो होते ही रहते थे. एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म्स करने की कोशिश की थी. ही लेविड अगेन जजिया ऑन नॉन मुस्लिम्स. कैनाल्स वगैरह बहुत बनाए थे. दैट्स द इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट. And he developed royal factories called as karkhanas. New towns were also built. Diwan e Khairat, a new department was established to support orphans and widows. Free hospitals like Darul Shifa and marriage bureaus for poor Muslims were also established. Firoz patronized scholars like Barni, who wrote Tariq-e-Firoz Shahi, and Fatwa-e-Jahandari, and Khwaja Abdul Malik Islami, who wrote Futuhat-us-Sultani. He himself authored the book Futuhat-e-Firoz Shahi. ठीक है. शहर डांग सिटी में कोई इंपॉर्टेंट रूलर नहीं है. लोधी डायनेस्टी में सिकंदर लोधी के बारे में थोड़ा पढ़ लेना. बालू लोधी हैज मेड द एम्पायर. ठीक है. गजे ही इंट्रोड्यूस द गजे सिकंदरी न्यू मेजरमेंट यार्डस्टिक. इसके लिए फेमस है अभी तक. एंड ही फाउंडेड आगरा. ठीक है. फिर इब्राहिम लोधी होता है, वो बैटल ऑफ पानीपत है, इसके कारण से थोड़ा नाम है. आ जाओ मुगल पे. बाबर, बाबर का बेटा हुमायूं, हुमायूं का अकबर, अकबर का जहांगीर, जहांगीर का शाहजहां, शाहजहां का औरंगजेब. उसके बाद के जितने रूलर हैं दे आर नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट. ठीक है. उन्होंने कुछ किया नहीं, खास कुछ किया ही नहीं लाइफ में, तो वो इतने इम्पोर्टेंट है नहीं. कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट कीवर्ड्स हैं, वो देख लेते हैं. उसके बाद थोड़ा सा मुगल के बारे में हल्का हल्का देख लेंगे. फटफट जो इम्पोर्टेंट है. तंका बोलते थे सिल्वर ना, मटेरियल को. दाम मतलब ये कॉइन्स है, मटेरियल नहीं है, कॉइन्स है. तंका बोलते थे सिल्वर कॉइन को. दाम बोलते थे कॉपर कॉइन को. रुपया बोलते थे सिल्वर कॉइन मुगल एम्पायर में. टाका हुआ गोल्ड कॉइन. ठीक है. देख लेना. दिनार भी होता था ये गुप्ता एम्पायर के टाइम में, मिडावल इंडिया के टाइम में. चोला में ना गडियाना होता था. ठीक है. नॉट वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दिस इज. इतने टर्म्स, ऐसे वाले टर्म नहीं आते. हमने जो बीच बीच में जो हाईलाइट किया है ना वही इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है. वो आपको याद रखना है. और ये हमने बुक्स तो कल्चर में देख ली थी. थोड़ा सा मुगल्स के बारे में आपको बता देता हूँ जो इम्पोर्टेंट है बस. फालतू की चीज़ें नहीं याद करनी है अभी. देखो बाबर एक डायरेक्ट डिसेंडेंट था जंगीज खान का थ्रू तिमूर, एंड वाज द फाउंडर ऑफ मुगल एम्पायर. ठीक है. कुछ खास काम नहीं किया है. हुमायूं का तो राइम था उसमें, शेर शाह यूज टू इंटरप्ट हिज किंगडम टाइम एंड अगेन. ठीक है. तो पहले थोड़ा दिन चला, फिर भाग गया, फिर आया, 1 ईयर रूल किया, फिर ही डाइड. ओके. देन केम अकबर. He was the one who had a large imprint on the India's history because of his cultural significance. What he did, like he made na deen ilahi, a kind of religion, by discussing with a lots of scholars. और स्कॉलर से जो डिस्कशन होता था वो इबादत खाना में होता था. इबादत खाना एक वाज अ प्लेस जहाँ पे स्कॉलर्स मिलते थे. एंड द मोर ही वेंट ऑन टू नो अबाउट द रिलीजन, द मोर ही थॉट दैट द सेंट्रल आइडियाज आर क्वाइट सिमिलर. और ऑर्थोडॉक्स जो मुस्लिम जो मौलाना वगैरह होते थे, उनसे his interest, he started losing interest because they used to fight and they used to impose their opinions. And फिर he used to ना ये जेसुइट्स जो होते थे, Christian missionaries, he used to learn from them as well, from the Hindus, from Buddhist, and उनसे सब मिला के दीन इलाही एक नया धर्म बनाया. Apart from it, दो places जो अकबर built, the places in Agra as well, जो प्लेसेस बनाए, उसमें द राजपूत इन्फ्लुएंस वाज ह्यूज. राजपूत इन्फ्लुएंस, राजपूत क्षत्रिय, सो राजपूत आर्किटेक्चर और इंडियन आर्किटेक्चर वाज कन्फ्लुएंस्ड. देयर वाज अकबर्स राजपूत पॉलिसी, जिससे ही हैड अ सीरीज ऑफ मैरिजेस विद द राजपूत no किंगडम्स, किंग्स डॉटर. और वो हुआ. उसके अलावा ही ट्राई टू give the Rajputs a big role, a big post, so that it conceal, ओ चाहे लड़ाई ना हो ज्यादा. तो एक फेमस राजपूत पॉलिसी है. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम इट, he was the one who started the तस्वीर खाना. as far as I can remember, he was the one who started ना पेंटिंग के जो बनाने का. दो जहांगीर was the one जिसके टाइम में the painting became quite popular, portraits वगैरह and everything. उस्ताद मंसूर etc were patronized by Jahangir, and Jahangir took the art, performance art, to another level because he was all into art. That's it. He was a very reluctant kind of human. He was just enjoying. And the wife of Jahangir, she was very, very dominant. ठीक है. She was taking a lot of decisions during his kingdom. Then Shahjahan was also not that fierce ruler as Akbar. So Shahjahan was also mainly into making architectures. So this is the famous one is the Taj Mahal, and this Delhi's Red Fort, etc. also has been built by Shahjahan. Okay, and his he wanted to make king no the eldest son. Okay, और औरंगजेब wanted to become खुद से कि मैं बनूंगा king, है ना. दारा सिक्को था eldest son का नाम, and दारा सिक्को was more into Vedas and Upanishads and everything. He was very, very tolerant and he was a scholar. Aurangzeb was a fierce rival. जब दारा सिक्को used to read books and Upanishads, Aurangzeb used to practice through fierce weapons, and he was very, very brutal. He what he did, he jailed his own father, he killed his own brothers, and then gave now to his father on plate his the head of his brother, दारा सिको का सर काट के plate में he presented. So such was the, but the Mughal Empire expanded the most during the time of Aurangzeb. And in terms of expenditure, he maintained himself by stitching clothes, etc. So he was not very lavishing, having very lavishing lifestyle, but the performance art took a dent because he was a very orthodox Islamic ruler. So he banned all those kinds of patronizing music, etc., and everything. He also banned now giving money to the places like now more money to Kaaba and all. um, and he thought as pure as those places are there, Hindustan is same and as purer. So उतने पैसे वैसे देने औरंगजेब ने बंद कर दिए. And he was into conquest and conquest and conquest and Islamic spread in the country. So he was more concerned about this. And performing art यहाँ से गिरता है तो the ना people go to Deccan, and वो regional जो paintings, regional musics जो develop हुए हैं, they developed after that only. So इतना basics आपको याद रखना है. अकबर ने जो कुछ कुछ conquest किए थे, like he and Bairam Khan defeated Hemu during the second battle of Panipat. He was only 13 years old जब ये king बनाया, तो Bairam Khan was virtually ruling everything. Then Chittorgarh and the siege of Ranthambore is quite popular by Akbar. One of his most famous construction marvel was the Lahore fort. He abolished jizya tax imposed on Hindu. He was a very tolerant person compared to any other ruler. Shahjahan constructed the Taj Mahal, Jama Masjid, Red Fort, Jahangir Mausoleum and Shalimar Garden. बहुत कुछ बनाया है. ठीक है. And Aurangzeb captured the diamond mines of Sultanate of Golconda and spent the major part of his last 27 years in the war with Maratha. Maratha से पूरा लड़ाई ही चलती रही. ठीक है. एक और रूलर था, इसका नाम था मोहम्मद शाह रंगीले. So he was also much into art. बाकी ये सारे रूलर तो पपेट का इनके थे, छोटे छोटे रूलर थे और इनके बस की कुछ खास था नहीं. ठीक है. ये पीडीएफ में अपलोड कर दूंगा. आपको ये सब चीज़ अगर टर्म्स पढ़नी होंगी ना, या आपको एक बार ये बुक से रिवाइज करनी होंगी, तो आप ये पीडीएफ पढ़ लेना. लिंक मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन में डाल दूंगा. बट इतना जो है जो जो एक चाहिए, जो इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें हैं, दैट आई हैव डिस्कस्ड. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच. टेक केयर. बेस्ट.